Welcome to American Towman TV.
Tow Pros will soon take over Texas at the Fort Worth Convention Center, June 20th through the 22nd.
Rumors spreading round that Texas town, about that shack outside the Grange, you know what I'm talking about. Just let me know if you wanna go to that home out on the range. They got a lot of nice girls there.
And here to explain more on the great new and exciting stuff taking place at Tow Expo Dallas Fort Worth at Wreck Week, hear from Doc Calitri and Jimmy Santos, both of American Towman Expositions. Now this was seen on the popular live stream talk show Recovery Alley with Geoff Nienstadt.
And now, here's the host of the Recovery Alley, Geoff Nienstadt.
Hey folks, this is Geoff with Southwest Tow Operators Recovery Alley, and we're at the 2024 American Towman Tow Expo in Las Vegas, Nevada at the South Point Casino and Hotel. And we have the man himself, Doc Calitri with American Towman Magazine. Man, Doc, great show this year. We can't wait. We got a huge thing coming up in Fort Worth, never been done before. This thing's going to be the juggernaut of tow shows. Yeah, I mean, we've got the whole arena. It's going to be crazy with Wreck Week out there. Y'all pretty much perfected this tow show industry. Put on some of the best shows across the United States. I mean, when did y'all start doing this, and how did you get so good at it?
Well, we started in 1989 when my brother Stephen launched American Towman Exposition. And at that time, the towing industry shows were produced by state associations, small shows around the country. And he saw a void in the market for an East Coast show and located it in Baltimore. And we launched it in 1989, and within a few years, it really became the largest show in the industry. And we're now in its 35th year, which is surprising in itself that it's now 35 years old.
Yeah, especially doing this stuff. It's a hard gig. What y'all do is hard work. People don't understand what goes into a trade show of this size. I mean, when you're dealing with 150, 200 vendors, trying to keep everybody happy, trying to make the attendees, keep them happy, keep them engaged in what's going on. It's really an art. And again, American Towman, they've perfected that art of engaging the attendees and making the vendors comfortable.
Well, I think the key to it is when we get asked by a vendor or an attendee, how is the show for you? And my response to them is, how is the show for you? Because if the show is good for you, then it's good for us.
Right, because they're the customer. The customer's always right, And again, these are just, I've been going to tow shows for a while. I've been in the industry 34 years. And you go to a tow show, you go see the vendors, you see what's going on. And now at where I'm at in the industry now, I've been blessed to be around some great people, really mentors, Tommy Anderson and some of the other people with American Towman and people in the industry. And so I've had firsthand to see what y'all have to go through when you're doing these shows. Sometimes you get a vendor that's not happy, and I watch how y'all handle that. If people want to get their money's worth out of a trade show, and they need to look at American Towman, because again, y'all have perfected what's going on. I mean, the numbers say itself. I mean, look at Baltimore. You said 30 how many years? 35 years. And that's the largest show in the United States when it comes to tow shows.
Well, actually, it's the largest tow show in the world.
Excuse me, I misspoke. The man has corrected me. It's the largest tow show in the world. I mean, because like you said, we've got Florida, we've got Tennessee, we've got some other ones that go out there with the associations. And I'm not taking anything away from Florida. Does a great show. But sometimes I see what's going on, and I think you set yourself apart from some of these.
Well, I think the important part of producing the show is that we feel that if you produce a first-class production, excuse me, a first-class production, that the people will appreciate your effort in making the presentation the best that it could be. And I think that's where we set ourselves apart from other companies or other associations, that we are very customer service oriented. We want the attendee to come here to be informed, educated, entertained at the same time, and leave with an experience that is so positive that there's no question that they would return next year.
But y'all make it fun, because it's not just the show and the floor. I mean, we have the big spoke with the cigars, Pie-Palooza. I mean, you get some good pie at the show and stuff. We got the Texas show where we have the casino night and everything like that. There's so much when it comes to these trade shows. At first when I was coming to them, I was coming to look at stuff, and then you start seeing everything that's going on. And what I've noticed through the years of me going to these shows, and this speaks volumes, is the same vendors at the show. And then, of course, the new vendors that are coming in. So if I'm seeing the same vendors for 20 years, somebody's got to be doing something right, because they wouldn't come back. They're coming back because American Towman has perfected what they're doing. And in turn, you're really helping the towing industry. And I know that y'all have stepped up quite a few times for the industry. I see what y'all do. But again, you start looking around at the vendors that are here at every show. There's no doubt that y'all are doing it right, and you're doing it the best.
Well, one of the keys to the vendors and the suppliers in the industry is that everybody is important. From the smallest exhibitor, a 10 by 10 exhibitor, 100 square foot size exhibit, to the largest 40 by 60 tow truck manufacturer exhibit. That 10 by 10 exhibitor is just as important to us as the tow truck manufacturer.
That's the model that American Towman has made, and I see it because we go around at shows and we speak to some of the vendors and stuff when we're doing our Recovery Alley stuff. We like, especially in Texas, we like to get in touch with the guys that are there at the show and the guys that support some of the stuff that we're doing. And you're right, when it comes to American Towman, is whether it's a 10 by 10, the 30 by 30. It's like you said, everybody's important, and I watch what y'all do on the floor. I mean, people might not realize how much work, but y'all, from days before the show, y'all are moving.
Well, one of the things I think I would like to emphasize is that there are so many details that are incorporated into production of a show like this, that you have to have a good staff. And we've been blessed. If you looked at our staff roster, there's a number of people here that have been with us for 20 plus years.
Yes.
And that speaks volumes to the type of people we are and how we treat our people, and the loyalty that we have. But they're experienced in what they do. So what seems to sometimes just happen, a lot of planning went into it, and the execution is, while it may not be perfect, it's close to perfect.
Well, it's kind of like a towing company. And when we're working, when we've worked together for so long, and we get out on a big recovery, and everybody knows their place, everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing. And again, if you say you can execute that correctly, it might not be perfect, but again, you're keeping everybody happy. They're coming back. I hear great things from some of the vendors. I personally know some of the vendors, and they're always happy at an American Towman Expo. And again, this thing that y'all are doing in Texas, I don't think it's ever been done, to combine what y'all are fixing to combine with Wreck Week and everything else. This is going to be huge.
Well, the over the last several years, when we do surveys of our attendees, and we ask them what is their primary business, is towing their primary business, or is it one of the other auto service affiliated type of business, auto body shop, auto repair shop? Are they a repo company?
Correct.
So we ask them, is it your primary or secondary business? So we get a good profile of who the attendee is.
Right. I remember filling out the registrations, and I of course, I'm only in the towing space. So that's all I look at. But I remember now that you say this. So now what you're doing is you're taking these body shops that could own a tow truck, and you're putting everything in one spot. They're not having to go to two different places. It's everything's in one spot. They can check it all out and get all the information they need.
Right. And we're marrying that up with marketing to shop owners who are not in towing, as well as auto repair shop owners who aren't in towing. They have relationships with towers. So there's a synergy between the markets. And there are some shop owners that they're debating whether they want to get into towing. Now, they may not want to get into motorist towing. They might do private towing where they're only towing their own customers.
Right.
So they're on the cusp of possibly getting involved. So we thought, all right, well, there's a synergy there. There's a commonality that we can exploit with them. And so we designed a program, the educational program, to bring the shop owner to the show. And that educational program is being developed with Drive, which is a national major consulting and coaching firm that helps shop owners become more profitable. We went to them and told them about our ideas, and they said, well, we'd like to be a part of it. We then went to Body Shop Business Magazine and said, here's our outline of a program. Would you like to be the major sponsor of Wreck Week? And then we added the name Shop Expo for the body shop side. So Wreck Week became the umbrella name. Then there's Shop Expo and there's Tow Expo. So they said, we love the concept. So they said, we want to join it. So they came on as a major sponsor. And then we designed this one idea that would draw quality shop owners to the show. And that is to honor the oldest 500 body shop owners in the country. So Body Shop Business Magazine is soliciting nominations from all over the country, along in conjunction with American Towman, to bring the 500 oldest shop owners to the show in Fort Worth, and we'll honor them at a ceremony. And Body Shop Business Magazine will then have a follow-up issue of their magazine honoring these people.
And that's the other thing that American Towman's done. So I watched what you've done with recognizing, and now with the body shops and stuff like you're talking about with the 500 oldest, recognizing businesses and people in the industry. I've been extremely humbled to be a part and honored to get some of the stuff where you're really representing the industries. I was awarded the Masters of Chaos Award a couple of years ago at the American Towman Expo in Fort Worth, and then this year I was completely blindsided when I was named Towman of the Year for 2024. That recognition is huge for somebody. It kind of validates what I've been doing for 34 years. I always told my mom when she was still alive, if I could change one person's mind about a tow truck company, one a week, maybe someday I'll get somewhere. And I look back at where I started, and the things I've been able to do for the industry, because of the industry. It's just a really amazing thing. And folks, the networking that can be done at this Texas show when you're putting us all together, this is going to be huge for people, the shops, the body shops, the towers. It's going to put us all in one space, and it's really going to be a good thing. Are y'all thinking about, this is probably kind of a little test. Are y'all thinking about trying to spread this through all your shows?
Well,
I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I got to ask.
We're definitely looking at the possibility of expanding the program. It won't happen at our Baltimore show because the Baltimore show happens a couple of weeks after the SEMA show.
Correct.
And so it would be very difficult for the companies to adjust to doing another show after they just did the big behemoth in Las Vegas. The Texas show was a prime one to do it with because we had the facility available to us. And the marketplace is a large market down in not only the greater Dallas-Fort Worth marketplace, but the overall Southwest market for towing and for shop owners. So it was almost a natural decision to put it there.
Everything just fit.
Right. If it works to the level that we think it will work, and everybody is accepting the idea. We are looking at the other possibilities of expanding it to other locations.
Well, great, man. Look, Doc, I know you're busy. I've seen you running all over this place for the last few days. I appreciate you taking a little bit of your time to sit down and talk to us. And again, I want to thank you. I've enjoyed these shows for many years, and I really respect them now, knowing what goes in to getting this done. And you've got to have, like you said, you've got to have a quality staff. You got to have people that click. You got to have people like Doc Calitri to get it done. You and Steve have done a great job with this whole thing. And I guess we get to see you in Texas in a few weeks.
You'll see me in Fort Worth.
All right. I appreciate it.
Thank you
hey,
very
remember,
much.
everybody, come back and see us on Recovery Alley. We've been having a great time the last few days.
Oh, yeah. American
Towman, as always, putting on a premium trade show. And we're you're on trade show season right now,
right.
and so this is rolling. You're going from Las Vegas. You're going to be coming to Texas for the Texas Tow Expo in Fort Worth, June 20th through the 22nd.
That's right.
But I've from what I've heard, the Texas show is going to be unlike anything Texas has ever seen before, and it's got real big. There's some new stuff going on, right, Jimmy?
That's right. We're adding a couple of new components to the show. We're adding a shop expo for the auto body and auto repair businesses. We're also having drive conferences involved in the show, and it's going to make it big. It's going to make a real big show.
Yeah, and also it's we got Wreck Week. So tell us about what Wreck Week is.
Well, like I said, Wreck Week is a trifecta of 3 automotive related expositions: Shop Expo, Tow Expo, and Drive Expo conferences. Wreck Week is sponsored by Body Shop Business Magazine, and it was taking place, like you said, Fort Worth, Texas, Convention Center, June 21st to the 22nd.
I think you got the whole convention center this time, right?
Oh, yeah.
This is going to be the first time that American Towman has taken over the entire Fort Worth Convention Center. This thing is huge. And what it's doing, it's kind of putting industries together.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff that could be in the same space when it comes to towing the shops, the body shops, and all that stuff. I'm thinking it's going to be freaking crazy, and so we're talking about these trade shows. But why should somebody? What's the benefits of somebody at Shop Expo?
Well, basically, you're going to meet face to face with auto body and auto repair owners from around the nation. Many shop bosses will be targeting specific equipment to purchase then and after the show.
Yeah, I can only imagine, especially when you bring the body shops in. We're talking booths, paint sprayers, paints, just all kinds of stuff.
That's correct.
That goes with that body shop business. I see the Body Shop Business Magazine is one of the official sponsors of Wreck Week, that's a big deal too.
Yes, it is, because Babcock Media is the parent to Body Shop Business, and they believe in the vision of the show and have long been familiar with American Towman Corp and our track record for producing class exposition, and including our world's largest tow show, which I'm sure you know about, the American Towman Exposition.
Yeah.
All right. So Body Shop Business is lending us a tremendous amount of marketing support through Wreck Week and through editorial readership and print online media. Body Shop Business will be hosting also, I don't know if you heard of Body Shop 500, which will be the longest established body shops in America. They'll be at Wreck Week.
So this is really opening it up to the industry, and this hasn't been done yet.
No,
American Towman's the first one that's going to do this.
That's correct.
It's a whole deal about American Towman wanting to put these industries together in one spot to just make it easy to get all that information that you need with what you're doing. So Tow Expo Dallas Fort Worth just grew exponentially.
Oh yeah,
and it's like I said. When Tommy told me about it, I'm like, wow. And I didn't realize how big it was, but this is going to be huge in Texas.
Yes, it is.
So, I know what we're looking at because I've been there many years, and I know how many people come. But I can only imagine what the attendance could be with Shop Expo.
Well, it definitely will add a more element to more people coming into the show. Basically through ownership, through readership, and through especially with Tow Expo trade shows, because that's been a trade show that's been going on for 26 years. And adding this component of Shop Expo right beside Tow Expo, it's going to add. Let's put it this way. There's auto body shops that have tow trucks, right?
Correct.
And they're going to be at Tow Expo.
Right, it's a one-stop shop for them. It's
right.
got all the greatest and newest things out there in the industry and stuff. I'm gonna kind of get you off course right now, but I'm just curious. How many? Do we know how many vendors we're looking at?
We're looking at right now over 130 vendors at this point, and growing.
Okay, so that's 130 total. Is that for Shop Week?
That's for the entire show.
Okay, so and again, American Towman Tow Expo has taken over the Fort Worth Convention Center, and it's going to fill it up. In conclusion,
well, look, our shows have been successful, and we offer value to businesses owners who serve the trade. Okay, we deliver quality attendance, shop owners and managers. Our marketing strategy targets both the great state of Texas and the nation.
So I mean, and I don't mean to get you off course again, but I mean, so American Towman does 3 great shows in the United States every year. Vegas being number 1. We kick it off in Vegas.
Vegas always kick it off in Vegas.
Is there any thoughts on maybe taking this to a larger venue like the Baltimore show, or I mean, just curious.
A show like this can be a travel show. We can take it to Baltimore, we can take it to New Jersey, we can take Atlantic City, we can even bring it to Vegas if we can. It's just depending on where our imagination goes with this.
Right,
show.
It's like I said, American Towman Expo is a proven trade show. I mean, Doc, Steve, and everybody involved, Tommy. It's just a great group of people. I've worked with them several times. Can't say enough about them, but it's like I said, y'all, you don't want to miss the Texas Tow Expo, the American Towman Tow Expo 2024 in Fort Worth, Texas. It's going to be bigger than ever, but you know what? Everything's bigger in Texas.
That's right.
Anyways,
That's what I hear.
Folks.
That's what I hear.